Hey, you like this microphone? Cool, right? I'm gonna use it from now on. Also, my music is on Bandcamp now. I'll pay what you want, including free. Go check it out. I think it's cool. Link in the description. Okay, now enjoy. Hello everyone, my name is Blurain, and here are two things that I really like. Obviously, I adore rain. I mean, it's in my name. And forests are just mysteriously beautiful. Just look at that black metal band messing around in it. I wonder what they're singing about. But there has to be a way to get these two things to correlate, so I'm gonna run an experiment. I'm gonna go to sleep with the sounds of rain and forest playing at the same time. Let's see what happens. Isn't it great to be different? Well, that's not what I was expecting. Ugh. I introduce you to Forest Rain. Working from Denver, Colorado, I hope. Forest Rain is a pop-punk alternative rock plus some other genres here and there Brony musician who holds something of a legend status in the fandom community as a whole. In fact, Forest Rain isn't just a musician. She likes to paint, and she narrates fan fictions and stories over on her YouTube channel, which was created on April 29th, 2009. The first upload to her YouTube channel was on New Year's Eve 2011, with a video titled MLP FIM Equestria Anthem / Circle of Friends, cover by Forest Rain, which I could have sworn was the name of a Kingdom Hearts game. From even this early on, the potential was crystal clear. A great voice, an ear for melody, everything was there like clockwork. After this video, there would be a lot of story narration, like a lot, but there were also some covers, like a cover of Family Ways by And the Rainfall, and a rock cover of Luna by Odyssey Eurobeat, or Eurobeat Brony. In fact, this cover would be covered by Snow Shovel with Forest Rain on vocals in 2020, and then redone in 2023. The 2023 Snow Shovel version being my personal favorite version of the track. But if we want to talk about covers by Forest Rain, how could we forget this one?
What is this weird show? It's like the only thing you know. You talk about it every day. You know this is child's play.
Ah yes, Join the Herd, the classic Brony parody of You're Gonna Go Far Kid by The Offspring. How could we forget? For starters, the first upload of the song was the pop vocal version featuring a cleaner vocal performance, and there was another one with rock vocals featuring a more raw performance from Forest Rain. The lyrics are redone to be about someone who isn't in the fandom talking down on someone who is. However, slowly but surely gets roped in and starts appreciating the show for what it is and yes, joining the herd. Bad joke. The original 2012 versions have these thick, distorted guitars and a really great vocal performance from Forest Rain. It was this one to be featured on Forest Rain's debut album, I believe, My Little Pop Punk Pony, described as capturing her entry into the Brony music scene. You might know the 2012 versions, or you might know the 2014 remaster that was actually released on major streaming platforms and has 1 million plays on Spotify. Join the Herd is an absolute classic, and although I don't really go out of my way to listen to parody songs, except A Message from Home by Forever Free Brony and Friendship Under Control by Thrak, it should still be remembered as the great parody song it is. What a classic.
Join the herd and you will see.
So My Little Pop Punk Pony is released, and the reason I'm not talking about it is because... Why am I so strict? Nah, it's just an issue of consistency. Anyway, tracks like Join the Herd and Luna Alt Mode are featured prominently, and rightfully so, and judging from how many people supported it on Bandcamp, well, that's gotta be a success, right? 2012 was beginning to die down. We had Awoken, Loyalty, Between Fairy Tales and Happy Endings, and more. Forest Rain's final releases in 2012 were the 6-minute opus Great to Be Different, which is really good by the way, and Raise the Sun. For 2013, there were a lot of songs actually, A Summer in the Stars, Bad Wolf, and Nightmare Night, which isn't a cover of the Wooden Toaster classic. Now, 2013 had passed and 2014 had blossomed forth. What does Forest Rain have to offer? Well, some songs were in order definitely. The ones I want to point out are Fluttershy and the 2014 version of Join the Herd, which I talked about earlier, but the new one, Fluttershy, went on to be a key component to Forest Rain's sophomore album. That's right, Forest Rain's sophomore release, Something Special, which was actually released the day before my 9th birthday, look at that. Anyway, Forest Rain continues the pop-punk sound that got her this far. Songs like the aforementioned Fluttershy are pleasant and a great showcase of Forest Rain's talents. Little Sparrow is a short but sweet acoustic song. Alone is unique, a heavier tone achieved on that one, and the story-driven Springtime in Maryland is another high point. Other than those songs, I didn't see myself coming back to the others. I found the production on Polychromatic kind of uneven, which is a shame because I actually really think it's a great song. And the two instrumental interludes are a great showcase of Forest Rain's skill on the piano, but I didn't come back to them, which isn't a good sign because of how short the album is. 8 songs, 26 minutes, and I only come back to half the record. Of course, every review is biased, and I don't hate this album. I have a ton of respect for it. It's hard to make an album. My main issues really lie in the production and the length. Other than that, it's a perfectly fine album, and if you absolutely love it and are willing to bleed for it, more power to you. I just won't be adding the CD to my collection. So after Something Special released, something special indeed happened. Forest Rain came out as transgender.
Valid!
That's right, releasing a video just in case people didn't see on social media, Forest Rain officially came out as a transgender individual, which is just so cool. After that, there were some originals, some covers, and a lot of narration work. She even covered Gone, Gone, Gone?!
I thought this guy was severely underrated, but both Forest Rain and Basic both did Philip covers. What the hell is happening?
In 2017, we got the Acoustamando melody, a melody of the original Elements series by Acoustamando Brony, and after that, more narration and covers. There was a 5-year gap between albums after Something Special. But then!
A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
May 10th, 2019 brought forth Discovery, surprisingly without any advanced singles that I could find. I'm not sure if it was a surprise drop or what, but Discovery... Oh, you guys are gonna kill me. While I think it's much better than Something Special, the issue of production comes back for me. Songs like the remake of Bad Wolf seem too ambitious for the way it sounds, although I think it's a fine song. Bad start, I know, but there are songs I really enjoyed on this record, like Twilight's Friendship School, which gives me kind of a classic rock vibe mixed with that classic Forest Rain sound. I like the key change at the end too. Professor Dash is also really good, very catchy, a cool riff accompanies it as well. In fact, Professor Dash has a little guitar quirk of Forest Rain's that I really like. Pay attention to the chord progression at this part in this chorus.
With Professor Dash here teaching me, I'll be the best that I can be.
Just a little thing I noticed about Forest Rain's guitar work. Silver Stream continues after and rounds out the first 3 tracks as an excellent trilogy of songs to open Discovery. I love Forest Rain's smooth vocal performance on it. Big Blue is a great ode to Gallus, who is part of the Young Six. Yeah, I also thought about the AVG character too.
Oh yeah, did you know that Discovery is primarily centered around the School of Friendship?
The Tempest is a sick piano-driven song with a great set of lyrics all about Tempest's shadow. It's dark, intense, and Forest Rain absolutely sells it. The rest, yeah, I won't be returning to it. It's a lot of the same woes from the Something Special section, and honestly, I feel like trash because of it. Because there is heart and soul here, there's hours of work here, and all I give it is a 4 out of 5.
Again, if you love this record, more power to you. Please don't let my opinions of these albums destroy yours. I say it again, music is entirely subjective. Every review is biased.
It was at this point in my deep discog dive of Forest Rain that I felt disillusioned. I thought the last 2 albums were fine enough, but production issues seeped through and soured my experience with those 2 full lengths. I was seriously doubting if this episode would even exist at all. With this doubt casting a shadow over me, I pressed play on the most recent Forest Rain album to date, with the lingering fear that I wasn't going to like the whole thing. What happened next was one of the greatest experiences I ever had listening to Brony music. Forest Rain won. There's no other way to put it. Forest Rain won with the incredible The End of the World, a concept album about Equestria on the brink of warfare with another race, who I believe to be the Changelings. I could be wrong, but whatever. This album gives me a ton of vibes from some of my favorite artists. The album starts in a similar vein to 1,000 Suns by Linkin Park, with 2 interlude tracks with narration and voice acting. The rest of the album takes cues from Forest Rain's orchestral experience, and even from heavier genres like metal. The Fight is the perfect proper opening track for this album, a grand envision with great guitar lines and vocal harmonies. The intro to Borders Fall give me a slight doom metal vibe before exploding into a metal masterpiece that somewhat reminds me of Muse, with Wubcake steel chords and Cyril the Wolf giving their vocal talents to the excellent track. The War is a come down from the big metal war anthems, speaking of a pony who tires of the war due to its length, featuring a great acoustic guitar and vocal performance from Forest Rain. Beacon in the Dark is straight up hip hop. Like, Forest Rain actually lays down some bars and disses people who propagate disdain in the Brony community. A community, by the way, focused on love and tolerance. It actually fits really well with the concept of the record, and I love it. And finally, For Equestria ends the album with the end of the war. Towns in dust, ponies lost in war, but at the end of it all, the ponies will still sing for their home, For Equestria. The song ends with Regan Murdoch's fantastic narration, which reminds me of A Few Words for the Firing Squad by Run the Jewels. It bookends the album perfectly.
I loved this record so much on first spin that I intentionally delayed making this episode because I bought the CD from Forest Rain's Bandcamp page. I bought this pretty quickly because I looked it up on Discogs and it said it was a limited edition. I don't know if that's true, but just in case, I went ahead and bought it. I missed out on Sounds from the Shed. I am not missing the end of the world.
The Battle is my highlight from this album, and it's the definition of pure perfection. It has everything. Sick guitar riffs, smashing drums, great lyrics about empowerment in the face of fear, and even Forest Rain doing fry screams during the fantastic chorus.
Now you're speaking my language.
The Battle is my favorite song from the album, without a doubt. Just the way it presents itself is stunning. The End of the World by Forest Rain won me over, if you couldn't tell by all the praise I've been giving this record. It's a fantastic alt-rock and metal album about warfare in Equestria by a community veteran with a unique voice and a knack for storytelling. I'll definitely be following Forest Rain from here on out. I'm excited to see what comes next. For Ponies at Dawn Echoes, Forest Rain put out Chrissy Nightmare Mode, a heavier take on one of her original songs, Chrissy. It's really sick, has some amazing bass work by Cyril the Wolf, and excellent drums by Whirlwind, who's part of a deathcore side project. Right on. In 2020, Snow Shovel enlisted the help of Forest Rain herself for vocals for a cover of Luna Alt Mode, and 3 years later would remaster it. I said it earlier, but the 2023 Snow Shovel cover with vocals from Forest Rain is my favorite version of the track. It's absolutely stellar. On August 29th, 2022, Forest Rain celebrated 10 years of Great to Be Different with a complete remaster, and it sounds great, it is great, and I recommend it.
And after that, it's been somewhat quiet. Or maybe it hasn't, I don't know. I could be wrong, maybe an album comes out tomorrow, I don't know. Forest Rain has achieved wonders and had made a name in this community due to her unique vocal identity, amazing instrumental talent, and a keen eye for storytelling. And while I may not be returning to her entire discography, you can absolutely be sure that I will be following her work going forward, always waiting for the next release. Alright, that's it for this episode of the Brony Musician Analysis. Thank you for watching, and please don't subscribe. We face the demons in our wake.